Welcome to the Get Unbusy podcast. I'm your host, Kate Philpott, and this podcast is all about throwing your busy work out the window. You deserve to stay locked in on the parts of your business that light a fire under your hoo-ha, all right? The passion-driven freedom lifestyle, not being glued to your laptop every waking minute of the day. It's time to build a business that works for you, not one that works you into the ground. So, let's get unbusy, shall we? Hello and welcome back to the Get Unbusy podcast. I'm your host, Kate Philpott, and this is going to be an episode and a half today because I am joined by the lovely Maylene May. So before I bring her on, let me give you some background. So Maylene is a business strategist and retention consultant. So she helps high achievers turn client experience into cult level loyalty and recurring income. And she mentors 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs and CEOs and helps them build communities that are built for retention, re-enrollment, long-term profit. So don't you know? That feels very good to me, so I'm very excited for this conversation. She's got over 20 years experience in entrepreneurship, business development, and community growth, and her work is rooted in the belief that connection is the ultimate growth strategy and that loyalty is the most profitable business model. So I love that, and whether it's on stage or in private mentorship or through her signature programs, Maylene's approach is equal parts strategic and magnetic, leaving audiences inspired to build businesses that don't only sell, but keep clients coming back for years. So, Maylene, so excited to have you here. You're also one of our speakers at the Now That's a Membership Summit, which is at the time of this episode a few weeks ago. But you were speaking on how to create ride or die fans who stay, pay, and refer, which is definitely a topic I think every entrepreneur can benefit from. So I'm so looking forward to this conversation. Welcome to the Get Unbusy podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited for your summit because the summit, the topics, the podcast, it's amazing. I'm excited because I think everybody needs to listen to your summits and your podcast. I'm just very excited. And thank you for the introduction. Like hearing you say it, I'm like, that sounds so amazing. Everybody needs community. Yes, I do believe in that, like 100%.
Wouldn't it be so great if we all just had like a hype girl to introduce us at the start of our workday? Like,
Yes.
here she is.
Here she is.
That would definitely make me feel good.
That's everyone, 100%. We do need that at least once a week. I think everybody needs that.
Yeah.
And that's also why memberships and communities are important. Because you might not have the hype girl, you'll have a hype squad, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have your own membership as well, and you know like the ins and outs and the people in there and who you can rely on because everyone has all these different personalities, which makes it even more exciting. This like membership salad.
I know, yeah. I'm obsessed. Well, let's get into that. So, you are big on community. So, from your particular perspective, why do you find that to be so important?
Community's always been important, especially for us as women. If you go back to like the caveman days, like men went out and hunted, we stayed home, picked berries. Even after that, I don't know if you were younger, I have a very big family. We were always in the kitchen cooking, speaking to each other, sharing recipes. Like, I think there's a little bit of like nostalgia when it comes to being young and swapping actual recipe cards and not just like sending a WhatsApp. You're like, this is my recipe, and I added a touch of salt here and a little bit there. So women have always been in community. But now, as we move into the world of AI, it's even more important that we start connecting with each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and some people, I've seen it said that like people are kind of coming from the other side of things where they're like, oh, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like everything's getting done because of AI. I'm like, well, we are still humans. Like we're not AI. Like we still crave that connection.
We still have feelings. We still want to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So clearly you're very passionate about community, and I've heard you speak about community purpose. So I would love to know like what that means and what that looks like in action for you.
The purpose of having community, everyone having a community.
Yeah.
I think what happened is before 2020, there wasn't enough focus on community, and we didn't realize how much we missed it until COVID happened. I mean, I don't know if you think back to COVID times and when all women decided we're going to start baking and making sourdough bread, right?
I know. How cute was that?
Yes. And moms are like teaching their kids little recipes. And so we built these tiny little communities online with people across the world. The people who were alone really felt alone. And I felt that a lot. Like, I know there was so many people grieving, and I went through grief as well. And there were so many people who were
Yeah.
alone who felt the grief. I met so many people who would break the rules and the laws just to get out and meet people because they needed that.
Mm,
Some people are okay to be like, I'm sitting behind my computer and working and it's cool. Other people need the energy from people. They need to communicate. They need to like meet people. So the purpose of community is finding your own people, or else you just feel alone. Um, there's a lot of podcasts, and I know it's probably just, there's a lot of podcasts like on perimenopause and how that affects women. Like if you listen to some of the top ladies, that's the topic of conversation, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize this was a thing. Or
mm.
I have another client, and her child is autistic and has ADHD. And I was like, let's find podcasts about that. And there are podcasts about that because I can't help you with that. So we need to find you different communities, and we are so multi-passionate as well. So there isn't just like my community where everyone comes and just talks about retention. It's like, let's
Yeah.
talk about everything that's bothering you, because you know, having a membership and having a business and having your own little fur baby, you have your puppy, I have my kittens.
Yeah.
Like it's the small things that bring people together and have purpose.
Yeah.
And since 2020 and having to deal with grief, at some stage I was working with a lot of people who were grieving, and it's not something that goes away. And so I believed and I learned from that experience, which is hugely emotional, that there isn't one person on this earth without purpose. And finding the other people who have the same purpose as you just makes life meaningful.
No, that's so true. And you know what is coming straight to my mind right now is a simple example of this in the grand scheme of the internet, but like Taylor Swift right now. Okay.
Yes.
I woke up yesterday morning and there was the Taylor Swift engagement announcement, and everybody literally all over my threads was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And then just like different things about it, and like for me then I was like, I mean, I'm a Swiftie, but I'm not like hardcore. But I was like, "Ooh, I want to start posting about this too because I feel like I'm part
Yes.
of it. Like I'm part of the crew." Like it really does give you that. And also, just when you were talking about COVID and stuff there, I will say, I think I was an outlier in that time because I'm very introverted. So I was like, great, don't have to, like, I could just lock myself away. That's fantastic. However, and I did enjoy that, I won't lie. From a creativity point of view, like, I was in my element. But on the long term, because let's be honest, like, it didn't just go on a couple of months, it was
Mm.
almost 2 years really on and off. I was like, oh, things are starting to feel a little less fulfilling and meaningful in the grand scheme of things. So definitely notice that. Like, even if you were somebody who was like having the time of their lives in lockdown and everything, like I wasn't feeling it in the short term, but in the long term, because again, we are all human and we do like it's built within us to
Mm.
crave that connection. So it's a whole thing.
It is. And it was a different time. I mean, I'm sure there's so many of us who are like, if we could go back, the things I would change. Because there was like there was before COVID, and then there's after COVID. There's who you were before, during, and after.
True.
Yeah.
Would you change anything?
Well, we are all working online now a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I also stopped wearing a lot of high heels.
So did I.
Before COVID, I would wear high heels every day, buy different shoes, go shoe crazy. After COVID, I was like, I don't miss it that much.
No, I don't miss it either. That's so funny that you said that because I hadn't put two and two together that they might have happened around the same time, but they definitely did.
Right? Where you're like,
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah,
really comfortable. I'm comfortable not having shoes on all the time. I'm comfortable
hmm.
buying loungewear as a staple and not just something to sleep in,
Oh
something
yeah,
to feel gorgeous in, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
gorgeous and cozy.
yes.
Oh yeah,
Like before that, nobody posted their like loungewear or sleepwear. During COVID, it was okay. It was like pajama party online, total vibe. Yeah.
yeah. So if we're talking about community in a sense of memberships, okay, because this is what I know you're very juicy when it comes to this. So,
Thanks.
what do you think actually attracts the kind of members in a membership who elevate a space rather than just kind of fill it with bums and seats?
It starts with the leader and the person who created the membership. Because I don't know if you remember, 2022, 2023 memberships became the thing to have,
Yeah.
the trend. Everyone needs a membership for their people to join. But then everybody was like, well, now we have a membership, now what? Because we have the one-on-ones, we have the
Yeah.
group programs, we have the mini group programs, we have the masterminds. And then we're like, memberships are fun because it's recurring revenue. Everyone was like, get a membership because it's monthly recurring revenue. And I joined some and I was like, this is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
here we all are, and you're like once a month having a call, and we're like, and so you're like, well, what is the difference between your membership and your coaching program? So the difference for me is one, you build your community online because you could have followers on Instagram, but they're not your community. But if you, as Kate, posted about your dog and I posted about my cats, that's people are like, oh, now I relate to you, not just as a business person, but you have a cat, I have a cat too. That's our community. It's something else we can talk about. So, what makes a community is people speaking to each other. It isn't about the person owning the membership. But a membership, when you attract people to it, it can't be based on the fact that you just want monthly recurring revenue. Or else it's a
Yeah.
subscription, it's not a membership. And that's where people got confused between a subscription and a
Ooh.
membership. Because I could go, I'm starting a membership, and once a month I'm giving you a template on how to post on Instagram. That's a subscription, it's not a membership. If I'm
Ooh.
not talking to other people, it's not a membership, right? That's the difference between Netflix being a subscription and Swifty fans being a community.
So true.
Because what happens is if you get on a train and everyone's in a Swifty outfit, you're all like, oh my God, you're my best friend. It's like when the
Yeah.
Spice Girls were popular and everyone wore like platform shoes and you were like a Baby Spice or Sporty Spice. Now we have Taylor Swift. You're like, you're my best friend. I don't know who you are, but you're a Swifty fan, so we must be like best buds, right? So that's the difference.
Oh. Oh my God. Okay. As you first said that, I was like, no, wait, no, this doesn't make sense to me. But as you kept talking, I was like, holy crap. No, you're so right. Because, like, I never really fully saw the difference there. I didn't kind of realize there was a difference. I was like, yeah, membership is a subscription, sure. But the way you've just explained that there, like, that's just given me the biggest, like, light bulb moment. And you are so right. Like,
Thank you.
it is actually very, very different. Like, to pay for Netflix, Spotify, Audible once a month versus to be paying for a membership. And yeah, there's content, but there's people in there too.
Hmm.
No, I actually need to like go journal.
Thank you. But that's the thing. A lot of people are like, I'm going to make a membership where I can give you more information. But then if you really follow that person, like if you're a Swiftie fan, you know everything about her. So when you follow your coach and you're like, I bought the program, I'm in the mastermind, I'm following the podcast, and I'm in the membership, but what's in the podcast is in the membership, and I'm getting no like
Mm,
personal time, then you start questioning things. And then you're like, wait
yeah.
a minute, people are following trends, but they're not doing it properly. And we need community, and this is why I'm so passionate. We need to connect to people, we need the community, and we are way overloaded with information. So we do need to not have more subscriptions.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Okay, so let's talk about bringing this into action. Like, so for any of the membership owners listening. So, what advice would you have for membership owners who want to focus more on community and who have also had that light bulb moment that I've just had, but things might be feeling a little quiet right now?
So if you have a membership currently, is it a membership? Is it a subscription? What are people getting and how much are you charging? Because a lot of people I'm speaking to lately are going, I'm part of too many things, I need to cut it down. And for you to make sure people stay, you need to have community, which means it can't be quiet, which means you need to be involved with the people. So if you have 20 people in your membership, or I had one client who we had 250 starting and she wanted to get to 500, and I was her community manager. And you because you're in your membership and you love your people and you're doing it not just for the money but for the value, you know if people are quiet or not quiet. So one, you need themes. Monthly themes work great. So for September, my theme is like self-sabotage and sales. You need a theme where people are like, oh, I want to be part of Kate's September theme, right? Or and
Mm-hmm.
they might not be interested in September, but then October comes and you're like some Halloween something. And then by the second month you have data and you're like, okay, I've got 500 people or 20 people, because not everybody needs a big membership. I've got 20 people, but 5 people are constantly involved. Now what we need to do is we need to gamify it. We need to
Mm-hmm.
go, it's not enough for me to just every Monday go, hi guys, so happy you're in my membership. Here's a new template for you. Good luck. We need to go, we're going to gamify it, guys. Every Monday, if you drop your template I used here, you're going to get 1 point. Every Wednesday, if you join the live call, you're going to get 3 points. At the end of the month, whoever gets the most points wins a one-on-one with me, or a strategy session, or something so high value and so excited. And you need to also have part of your gamification and your prizes that people support each other. So every Saturday, be like, we're having a hype girl party. Drop all your wins and drop the things that you hated. Drop the things that you're embarrassed about. Let us celebrate the good and the bad, right? So you do need to, in the beginning, put a lot more effort in. But once your people get used to every Friday having a Q&A call, you won't need to force it as much.
Yeah, because it becomes habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they won't be looking for other memberships or other subscriptions because they're like, well, I get everything in this membership. And also, we do need to realize that whether you have a membership or a mastermind, it's not about you. It's about each other, elevating each other.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, and I've noticed some coaches, they're like, I'm a coach for selling water bottles, and I know everything about water bottles. And there comes a point where everyone's like, okay, well, I'm kind of tired of the water bottle. And you're like, but that's what I do. So what you can do is
Mm.
get other people to go, what is your experience? Let me get guest speakers on. And a lot of people are scared to get guest speakers because you're like, they're going to steal my audience. And it's really not like that. You're like, I'm bringing guest speakers
Yeah.
to make it valuable for you, to make it excited for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
gamification is one way to keep it more exciting.
Every time I talk about gamification, I just get so excited, even as like the membership owner. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun. And I have done like I did a challenge earlier in the year in my membership, and it was, to be honest, looking back, there were ways I would have done it so that it would have been kind of easier to run. It was very like high lift. But it was probably the most engaged my membership has ever been, and people were taking the most action because they were also like, I want to get these points.
Yes.
It was just like so fun all around. um so okay, so that's just generally bringing community in a little bit more. So what would you say if it is like a little bit of a ghost town, if it is a little quiet?
I would send out a poll to, it depends on how big it is. Generally, if your membership is small, it feels quieter. I would
Yeah.
personally phone everybody and speak to them and say, what do you like? What don't you like? A lot of people are too afraid to ask for feedback. When people leave, they
Yeah.
don't ask for feedback. We should be asking for feedback, especially from people leaving. So if it's quiet,
Mm.
I would pick your best people, because we all have those who are in our spaces for since 2020 or before, and say, you aren't
Yeah.
very engaged. Like, what is going on? What do you love? What don't you
Yeah.
love? And then from there, you can decide. And a membership isn't for everyone. Let's be honest. Some people shouldn't have it. Like, rather
Mm.
stick to what you really love, and then decide if it's going to be open. Do you have an hour every single day to be a part of it?
Mm. Yeah.
Or do you want to close it
Yeah.
and rather use your time doing something better? But if it is really quiet, one, definitely speak to people, because what happens is we go, it's really quiet, but people are still paying, so I'm going to kind of like drop a few more exciting, like Easter egg things, and see how long I can
Yeah.
pull this out for, instead of going, okay, I need to make a decision, keep it, leave it, but why? And we only know the answer when we speak to your people.
That's so true. And I definitely find when somebody's membership is a little bit quieter, because you most likely started the membership with a view to it being quote unquote
Hmm.
scalable, and with it being maybe less high touch with you, like less personal time with you because it's not a high ticket program or it's not one to one. I think people can kind of resist that a bit. Or like, what do you mean I'm gonna call people? Like, do you know what I mean? But look, so we got to be honest with ourselves. Like, if it's being a little quiet, the power is in our hands, and that is definitely a really powerful step that we can take to just open up the conversation. Whether that in itself re-engages the person, or if it just gives you that bit more intel, that bit more information to kind of go, I see where things have kind of slipped. Okay, I've got this. I'm gonna do whatever it is. So yeah, you can learn a lot from that, but it does take a bit of facing it.
It does. I had a client in my free membership, and she was engaged like every single day this month. And she sent me a private message. She's like, there was some months where it didn't make sense for me because of where she was in her lifetime.
Mm.
Because you grow as the membership owner, your members also grow. And so you either grow apart or you grow together, but you can't grow together as a community if you're not having conversations and you're not opening it
Yes.
up. Because a lot of times people go, I'm going to have this membership, but you only get 1 hour of my time. And I've seen this in other memberships where they're like, you get 1 hour of my time once a month in a Q&A, and don't ask a question longer than 1 minute. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, thank you for that. And didn't we all start this business to make people feel valued and connected?
I hope
And the
so.
other thing is, people are actually scared to have people speak to each other, because they're like, what if they leave to go to, they'll be like, well, Kate interviewed Maylene. What if they like Maylene and then they go to Maylene? Or then they go to Maylene and then they go to like the next person in the summit. Um, but you'll always find your people if you're engaged.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of rabbit holes you could go down in that side of things where it's like, first of all, there's more than enough for all of us. Second of all, the more you are, the more your people will just be attracted to you and your energy. But that's, like I said, a whole other conversation. But yeah, so okay, so what would you say would be those subtle signs that a member is kind of about to drop off? And if that is happening, how would you kind of respond to that?
Sending them a private DM. So, one, we need to look at how you are running your current membership.
Mm.
What are you doing to keep people engaged? Are you having a competition? So, let's say at the end of August, we had a competition. We look at our people. If you have a VA or community manager, they'd be able to pull up the statistics. I'll go, hi, Kate. I know you joined my membership, and I just want to chat to you either by booking a call or on Telegram, see if this is still aligned with you, because the purpose of this membership is XYZ. I really do value your opinion, and I won't be offended by anything you say. So let me know. Let's actually open the conversation.
Yeah.
But it does go back to the first question, is a lot of times people have memberships just to say, I have a membership. Here's a low ticket space for you.
Mm.
But the same thing we're getting in your membership is what we're getting in your free podcast. So it
Yeah.
needs to have more value.
Yeah.
The importance of building community is that your members grow because the members enjoy the membership. And it isn't always about the person who runs the membership, but they have to be involved. And to get it started, like you said, when you do the gamification, it does take a lot out of you in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then you can get your membership going because you could have tiers of a membership. So you could say, okay, there's the lower tier, the higher tier. You could get also people, not affiliates, but like cheerleaders of your membership, where you're like, you're in my membership, you love all the stuff, you've done all the programs, I love to have you on. How about I give you every second month or every month a free strategy session with me or one-on-one call if you could help me manage the membership. Also, co-coaches in memberships have also become really popular to help with that because we get busy and you
Yeah.
do want to scale your business. And in order to scale, you kind of need to let other people help you.
That's very true. And this is
Mm.
something that I help. I don't know if you know Demir and Carey of the Life Hack Method. They have a huge productivity membership, and this is something that I do for them. So initially, I started working with them. They have these pre-planning calls every Friday. So it's like a big event. It's like one of the main things you do in the membership. You come on. There's like people. We're all chatting. We're all using that same kind of verbiage. We're playing good music, and I have. I'll wear this as a badge of honor. I have become known as DJ Kate.
That
um,
is awesome.
I'm gonna take that. But absolutely, because the head coach and the CEO, they're married and they own the company together. And there's no way that they will be able to do those calls. And they've also added in daily pre planning. So Monday to Friday, there's an hour long call. If they were going to do all of those calls, plus all of the other things they do, plus all of the other offers that they do, like,
Mm.
there's only so many hours that you can kind of give that high impact energy of yours. So definitely back you on that. And there's so many ways that you can do that. Like I think a lot of people think, oh, but like I'm the only one that can run the calls in my membership
Yes.
because it's my
Yeah.
membership. But like, we've got SOPs, we've got training, we've got like things to get people set up to be in the right kind of headspace and be prepared to host that kind of call. Maybe they're
Right.
hosting calls slightly differently to you, but that's something that I noticed because I hosted a pre-planning call last Friday and somebody actually commented on it afterwards and was like, it's so cool how all the different coaches have their different kind of vibe and energy that they bring. And like, it's just so much, it's so cool that I get to get this kind of vibe with this coach and that kind of vibe with that coach. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like going to a spinning class at gym and you have different spin instructors.
Yeah.
They're all different. The music's different, the vibe's different, but you're learning something different. And I think if I could advise any of our top people who have big memberships is to get more co-coaches because
Mm.
a lot of people want a membership for the community, but they don't have enough people, and so they get burnt out trying to run a community when they could rather. I think we need to be honest with ourselves and go, do I want to open a community because I need friends? Or can I join someone else's community and make friends?
Mm.
And there's a difference. Because a lot of times we go, I need to speak to people. I need to be accountable. So I'm going to start an accountability challenge. I'm going to start a membership. And then we feel guilty going into other people's memberships because you make friends. Also, some people feel like don't like speak to me because I'm scared you're going to sell something.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really happen in a membership, or it shouldn't. Or we should just be having better conversations. Also, a membership allows you to get to know people. Because online, anytime anybody gets a DM now, we're like, please don't talk to me, please don't try and sell me. I've been
I
sold to
know.
enough.
I
So,
know.
my suggestion to everybody is join 5 different memberships, not all at the same time, get to know people because you'll find your people in all the different places because your
Yeah.
membership is not the same as a membership on how to like make threads work, right?
Yeah.
So you're meeting different people, and to elevate ourselves we need to be around different people, but you will still find your people and your community where you go and you're like, this feels like home.
That is beautiful. They've also, I don't know if you've received this, just on the DMs side of things. In the past week, I got This really made me laugh. I got a DM which was an AI voice note. They actually sent me a voice note. It sounded kind of real, but it just was like that little bit robotic. And I was like, this is AI. So weird. Have you got that?
No, I haven't. That is
Yeah.
so interesting. Did you taking it up a notch?
I know. But it was quite convincing. Part of me is questioning myself. I'm like, was it AI? I'm like, nobody talks with that little personality. So I really think it was AI. But it really threw me for a loop. And the amount of follow ups, I was like, I don't know if a real person would have the grit to like do this. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a bot. And I
Yeah.
think that's where community and the memberships and speaking to people, I think we need to speak to a lot more people than the places we're in as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. No,
Like,
you're
I'm so
right.
excited about your summits because when I saw the lineup and I'm like, oh, I want to go follow the, like, there were people I've never met in your summits. There were
Yeah.
some I did and some I didn't. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of this person. This is amazing. Right?
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with the lineup. Like that's a whole other conversation
It's
too.
a
But
great
like, I was like, look at this lineup, and now because obviously I'm hosting it and I've done like all of the kind of bits and like seen all the presentations, I feel like I know everybody so well. And of course, I've had like, I think 8 to 10 of the speakers have come on as a guest on the podcast. That connection is happening there. Like we're gonna have a blast.
after your summits, everyone's going to change how membership is done as we go
Yeah,
into 2026. Either they're going to change it or they're going to realize it's not for me, but I know some great memberships I can join.
good point. Yeah. They're going to change
Mm,
it or upgrade it or just be like, whoa, there's some good stuff out there and these people know what they're talking about.
yeah.
So, if we're talking to solopreneurs, people who don't have a team yet, don't have a VA or anything like that, and they might be feeling the pressure to just do more and just do all of the things to keep their community engaged, what advice would you have for those people in terms of like how to do it sustainably?
I think as long as the onboarding is done properly and people know what to expect.
Mm.
I have a client who has received, I know a few clients where they're like, I have this membership, but people are complaining. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, I promised them XYZ, but I couldn't deliver because I really wanted it to be amazing. And I think we keep selling memberships on things they get, but it's
Yeah.
no longer like what you get because people can get anything now on the internet, especially with AI. It really is more about the community you're building. So if you're a solopreneur and you don't have a lot of time, really first check your calendar. Make sure your onboarding is right. Make sure that what you're selling you can deliver. And if you can't be honest and say to people, I can't, people understand. We forget people are people.
Mm.
And then make sure that you have like community parties
Oh,
because that's what people want.
yeah.
People are lonely behind their computer. And even if you have an in-person event, because there's so many, it's only like twice a year. So I suggest community parties because even if you charge like $55 for your membership, right? And everybody could ask you a question once a week in that month for certain office hours. And then you had an office party where people come and jam. I don't know if you've ever done Tony Robbins's, you've done that big online event during COVID, the
I
UPW.
haven't, but I've seen like clips and stuff.
Yes. So
Yeah.
what he did was I mean, the man speaks for like 16 hours a day, and the way he keeps people going is he has dance parties. And from
Yeah.
that, everyone started having their own little dance parties. So I met people from there who would randomly on Telegram be like, who's ready for a dance party today? And people would just, for 60 seconds, have a dance party. And that's what people want, that kind of connection. So if you're a
Yeah.
solopreneur and you don't have the time, people don't want more things, they want more connection, they want more community. So do a slumber party, do a Halloween themed mask party, get people more involved,
Have fun.
like have fun, right?
Yeah.
Do things. Um, Introduce your members to each other so they can do things as well. So I would say, let's say you had a membership and you were like, May, I I don't want to add more things, but I'm unsure. I'd be like, okay, do you have an accountability day in your membership where people can just come together and say, you know what, I don't feel like posting, but I'm going to. Do you have like a month end party where we can celebrate the wins or the losses and just get people together? Because people don't have time also. People, you ask the question if they don't want to add more. People don't have time to put more on their plate either.
Hmm.
So 1 hour a month of like real value, if it's enough, will be enough.
Yeah.
People will pay for that.
I
It's
think,
not about more, it's about value.
yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say was just it's about quality over quantity. It's not that you
Mm.
need to add in like 50 different things, but like you said, like a 60-second dance party. Okay, there's like some orchestrating to go into that, but the real energy output is 60 seconds long. That's quality,
Yes.
you know, and I would enjoy that.
And well, you already said you're an incredible DJ. So, I mean, I would join Kate's membership for the like every Saturday. When are people mostly tired? Maybe Wednesday. It depends on when their days are and how they
Yeah.
book their calendar, right? But you'd be like, guys, every Tuesday I'm gonna have a hype party. And you know, it's the funnest thing about those little dance parties we used to have is it didn't matter. It would happen completely randomly, and it didn't matter if you were in your pajamas, unhappy, celebrating, or whatever. People would hop on,
Yeah.
and people really just have too much on their plate. So if they're like, okay, on a Monday, Kate will give me a template. On a Wednesday, there's an accountability call with her co-coach or her VA. Just because people have a lot of information, they need time to act
Integrate.
on it, right?
Yeah.
Integrate, act on it. And then once a month, we have a dance party where you come, you scream if you want to scream, you cry if you want to cry, because nobody made a space for you to do that, because you're too embarrassed, because every other membership or mastermind is too professional.
Yes.
Everything's too professional.
Oh my God.
That's value,
Yeah.
right?
I love that. Yeah, no, that's so true. And that's something that I'm feeling that a lot when I go into spaces, like of things being just so super serious. Like, hey, I could have just like bought a textbook, you know, like can we just liven this up a little bit? That's kind of where like
Or you join calls and everyone's like, I made 100K, I made 10K, I got 5 clients, and you're sitting there and you're like, um,
I'm
where's the space for the new people who don't win, who have a terrible day, whose cat went to the vet, and so it has to be a day where we aren't sharing business,
hmm.
or you have
Hmm.
business for the first 20 minutes and then we break out to a dance party, or we all go to the dog park and put ourselves on video, or it depends on how big your membership is, but there's so
Yeah.
many things you could do inside the membership. You could have like a podcast party with your members. Just be like, guys, today I'm hosting a podcast for 3 hours. Anybody can hop in. There
How
could be 5 people,
fun.
2 people, one person. It's going to be the best membership hype party ever.
I love that.
Just for fun.
You're just cracking my brain wide open right now. Ooh, I'm gonna have to like brainstorm after this. Yeah. Oh, so much good stuff in there. Okay, I feel like that's a beautiful place to leave it off. So, Maylene, thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate your time. You are such a gem, and I just know that the listeners have got so much good stuff from this, and I'm hoping they've been taking notes. And if you didn't, guys, go and listen again and take notes. But thank you so much for coming on.
It's a pleasure, and this has been so much fun. Your summit, I cannot wait to watch. Like I was speaking to a friend. I'm like, I wonder if I can ask Kate what everybody's doing because I want to watch it already, and I want to see what's in the swag
Yeah.
because it's so exciting. Because this, honestly, I feel like your summit is going to take memberships to the next level because the way people have been doing it has been like a little boring. My whole brand is like dominatrix themed, and I'm always like, don't be vanilla, be more, right? So let's
Ooh.
not be vanilla.
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh no, but yeah, I can also second that. Having seen all of the presentations, I'm like, I can't believe that I get access to all of this. Oh my goodness. And just a side note, this is something that I'm working heavily on this week, so it's very much in my mind. I've taken I've gone through all of the presentations and taken all of the strategies and mapped out like all of the actual action steps that you would do if you were to take that strategy and run with it and put it into like a whole Asana dashboard. And it's just like, obviously you're not going to do all of that, especially at once, but you can pick and choose like, what do I want to do? What does my membership need most? And kind of take those strategies. It's in the gold pass, so it's kind of the upgraded ticket. But even from that, even me putting that together has made me realize just how much value is going to be in this summit. Obviously, like I said, by the time this episode goes up, the summit has passed. But
go back and get a gold ticket.
Yes. Yeah, go get the gold pass, because for real. Where can people connect with you and get in your world, Maylene?
On Instagram or Facebook, they can just type out my name, Maylene, Maylene, and my surname is May.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
This has been amazing. You're amazing. Thanks, Kate. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Oh, I've had a blast here. And those of you listening, thanks so much for listening. I will see you next Wednesday, and make sure you are subscribed on your favorite podcast platform and following over on Instagram at More to Life Kate. All right, I will see you next week. Bye. All right, gorgeous. That's a wrap on today's episode of the Get Unbusy podcast. If you got some juicy golden nuggets from this episode, I want to hear about it. So take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at More to Life Kate, because your girl wants to know. And remember, you're an absolute powerhouse. You can create the life you've been dreaming of, and I can't wait to see you pop off. Chat to you soon. Bye.